I'm just trying to get my back blown out in peace. You think I've got time to talk about a divorce that's a year old? Those were the exact words Teyana used in what now feels like the quiet before a storm that would shatter everything fans thought they knew about her past relationship. What started as a seemingly petty dismissal of her ex quickly turned into an emotionally explosive revelation that no one could have predicted. A dark secret, buried for years, has now come to light, and the internet is in complete chaos. In a deeply emotional and shocking post, Teyana opened up about her relationship with Iman, not as the whirlwind love story that fans believed it to be, but as something far darker. She exposed years of what she described as emotional and physical abuse at the hands of a man the internet once adored. The reaction was immediate. Some rallied around her, praising her strength and honesty, while others questioned her timing and motives. But one thing is undeniable. Teyana's truth has ignited a public reckoning, and no one is coming out of this unscathed. Teyana's post wasn't vague or cryptic. She laid it all out. She accused Iman of controlling behavior, manipulation, emotional gaslighting, and even physical aggression during their time together. According to her, these weren't isolated incidents or fights that escalated. They were patterns, habits, cycles that repeated themselves over and over, slowly chipping away at her self-worth and sense of safety. For years, she says, she protected him, out of fear, out of love, out of hope that he would change. She describes long nights of being talked down to, humiliated, and emotionally battered. She speaks about walking on eggshells, never knowing which version of Iman she would get. There were moments of affection, but they were followed by silence, by gaslighting, and by calculated apologies that never led to real change. Teyana explained that she stayed silent because she didn't think anyone would believe her. Or worse, that they would blame her for staying. Her post wasn't just a personal statement, it was a declaration of survival. And it's forced thousands of people to reevaluate what they thought they knew about a relationship they once admired. Was the chemistry we saw real? Or was it a cover for something darker happening behind closed doors? The internet, of course, reacted instantly. The hashtag number #AmanAbusivePast trended within hours. Support poured in from fellow influencers, fans, and survivors of abuse who saw their own experiences reflected in Teyana's story. She was praised for her bravery, for speaking out even when it was clear that backlash was inevitable. People admired her willingness to reclaim her narrative after years of silence. But, as always, the reaction wasn't one-sided. There was also a significant wave of skepticism. Critics questioned why she waited so long to speak. Others accused her of trying to destroy Iman's career or using the abuse narrative to gain sympathy. Some even suggested that this was just another ugly chapter in a public breakup that had already gone on too long. These polarizing reactions reveal a deeper issue: the way society still questions survivors. Instead of asking what Iman did, many asked why Teyana didn't speak up sooner. Instead of believing her, some demanded more proof, more pain, more public explanation. Still, despite the backlash, Teyana didn't flinch. She stood firm, and in doing so, she forced the conversation forward. Teyana's family, stunned by the revelation, quickly rallied around her. Her mother released a brief but heartfelt statement, expressing both shock and unwavering support. Her sister took to social media to directly address the public, saying she was furious with the situation and proud of her sister for finally speaking her truth. The emotion in her words made it clear this wasn't just an internet moment. This was real-life trauma coming to the surface, and her family was living it alongside her. Meanwhile, Iman's side of the family painted a far more complicated picture. Some members stood by him, defending his character and suggesting that Teyana's allegations were exaggerated or even fabricated. Others noticeably distanced themselves, releasing vague statements about the importance of mental health and healing without naming anyone directly. This internal division within Iman's circle only added fuel to the fire. If even his family couldn't present a united front, What did that say about the validity of Teyana's claims? After days of mounting pressure and speculation, Iman finally addressed the situation publicly. In a carefully worded statement, he expressed regret, stating that he never meant to hurt Teyana and that he takes full responsibility for the emotional difficulties in their relationship. But he stopped short of admitting to abuse. His words were vague, perhaps deliberately so, leaving room for interpretation. To some, it felt like a genuine apology. To others, it was little more than PR damage control. But just as people were beginning to digest Iman's statement, a private video surfaced that completely changed the narrative. In the video, Iman is seen joking with a close friend about the situation, mocking the allegations, and downplaying the severity of what Teyana had accused him of. "She's being dramatic," he said. "She's always been like that." The casual cruelty of that moment hit harder than any official statement ever could. It wasn't just that he was denying the abuse. It was that he didn't seem to care about the impact of his words or the trauma he may have caused. The apology that once felt ambiguous now rang hollow. Fans who had defended him began deleting their comments. Influencers who had stayed neutral started speaking out. Teyana responded not with another emotional post, but with clarity and conviction. She acknowledged a man's apology, but made it clear that her decision to speak up was not about destroying him. It was about reclaiming her life. She emphasized that this wasn't revenge. This was survival. And it was about time the truth was told, even if it cost her peace, privacy, or popularity. That distinction mattered. It shifted the conversation away from "he said, she said" into something more profound: healing, accountability, and growth. She wasn't asking for pity. She was demanding recognition of her experience, of the pain she endured, and the strength it took to finally walk away. At this point, fans started speculating whether the situation would escalate into legal territory. Could there be a lawsuit? Could Iman be held accountable in court for any of the actions Teyana described? Lawyers weighed in on social media, and even mainstream media outlets began picking up the story. This wasn't internet drama anymore. It was turning into a public reckoning. The fandom remains divided. Some believe Iman's apology, view the leaked video as out-of-context banter, and insist that Teyana is using emotional language to manipulate public sympathy. Others argue that abuse is often difficult to prove, but that doesn't make it any less real. They point to the consistency of her story, the visible pain in her demeanor, and the emotional toll the entire ordeal has taken. What's most striking is how this story has pulled people into broader conversations about emotional abuse, psychological manipulation, and the stigma around believing survivors. For some, it's personal. They see themselves in Teyana's story. For others, it's a wake-up call about how easily the public can misjudge a relationship when all they see is curated content. Iman's future in the public eye now hangs in the balance. Can he bounce back from this scandal? Can he rebuild trust with fans who now question everything they ever admired about him? Or is this the beginning of the end for his career? As the dust settles, if it ever does, Teyana stands at a crossroads. Her strength in telling her story has already inspired thousands. But the road ahead won't be easy. She's now faced with the challenge of healing, rebuilding her self-worth, and navigating life after opening up a chapter she once hoped to leave buried. With her family's support and a growing community of people rooting for her, she may very well emerge from this stronger than ever. But healing doesn't happen in public comments or trending hashtags. It happens in therapy sessions, in journal pages, in late-night tears, and early morning affirmations. Teyana's journey is only just beginning, but she's no longer walking it alone. This isn't just another influencer breakup. It's a story about pain, silence, and the power of truth. It's a reminder that the people we admire online are often hiding things we can't see. And it's a wake-up call for all of us to look deeper, listen better, and believe survivors when they speak. So we ask you, what do you believe? Is Iman's apology enough? Or did the leaked video reveal his true colors? Should Teyana have kept this private? Or was she right to bring it into the public eye? And can a public figure ever truly recover after being accused of something so serious? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. This is a conversation we need to keep having. If you found this video powerful, give it a like. Subscribe for more deep dives into the stories behind the headlines. And most importantly, be kind in the comments. This is someone's real life. Until next time, stay informed, stay critical, and above all, stay compassionate.